We are set to go, ladies and gentlemen, people around the world. Welcome to the Weekly Beer Show. Nice. What up, Nate?
Travel Man Dan, how you doing, buddy?
Great, man. What's going on with Red October? What's that all about?
Hey, the Fightins are playing right now against Game 4 against the San Diego Padres. The bank is going crazy. They are down 1-0 right now. Bailey Falter gave up a first-inning home run to Manny Machado.
Ooh, oh, that's a stinger. Sounds like a Garrett Cole activity. Hey, guys, welcome to the show. The Yankees are down 5-0. I'm watching a little bit with this eye over here on that TV, but Nate has got his team going. We're going to rattle through today's show. Welcome to the show. People, thank you so much for hopping on. Broad Street Bryce. All right, I like it. A lot of baseball in the air, a lot of baseball. Guys, this is the Weekly Beer Show. We show up each and every week. Today is a Saturday at 5 p.m. Next week will be Saturday at 5 p.m. And the following week after that switches back to Sunday. For those of you that are just joining us today, let me tell you a little bit about what we do. We go ahead and we review beers. That's right. 2 beers we got. Last week, we did the battle series of the non-alcoholic beers from Athletic Brewing. Who won, Nate?
We had a tie, 37.5.
I'm not going anywhere. It's a tie. We're going to play again and keep going. Yeah, it's a tie. They were both delicious beers. Like I said, we're doing Sober October. And, man, holy crap, Nate, we got a few more weeks to go.
Hey, I'm loving it, actually.
I mean, I like the idea of being sober and stuff, but I also like a good buzz on a beer. And I like to try all different sorts of beers. But we're going to continue on with the show. Love and Light Drunatic from Copenhagen. Drew. Now, I'd like to point out real quick, Drunatic is calling. It's 3 a.m. in Denmark for her and Tenacious Freak. So thank you so much. Guys, that we go ahead and review normally regular beers this week. Next week, our last 2 weeks, we're going to do non-alcoholic beers. We got 2 great ones today. We're going to go ahead and bring you stuff like What Would You Rather? We got a little segment called Wish You Were a Beer. Gotcha. I Wish You a Beer was our friends. I thought I would throw that in there. I just wanted to say happy birthday to Vero, one of their main components of Wish You a Beer. So I said I would say it on the show. That's shouts out to you. Happy birthday. And I'll save the other happy birthday to see if he shows up. But we do have another segment. We're going to round it out with what are you reading, what are you watching, what are you listening to, and the quote of the show. Nate, why don't you let everyone know for who's returning today what's going on?
All right, guys, you know what we do. We review 2 beers. We take it to the scorecard, 5 different categories up to 5 points each, a potential 25 out of 25. Is it possible, Danny? Last year, really good scores with the Athletic Brewing. I'm curious how today's beers do. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm really excited to try these ones. Hey, Bob, welcome. I'm really excited to try this one. Are you going through an alcohol withdrawals? Yeah, believe it or not, I'm not at all. I've actually been really chill. I've been keeping myself busy. I have a lot of activities, as probably you do too, Nate.
Always, yep.
How about those Bills kicking ass? Yankees not so much. And the Sabres are playing well. That's right. The Sabres beat Edmonton. Barrow. And they played Calgary and beat them. They're playing Winnipeg in a little bit. So excited to see how their West Coast trip goes. Hello, Barrow from India. So what we were saying is the non-alcoholic beers. Nate, I am really excited to try these 2 beers because today is the battle of the non-alcoholic stouts.
That's right.
That's right. Stouts. Can you believe it? I mean, we're used to just drinking lagers and O'Doul's and St. Pauli girl. But as you saw last week's show, things have really upped their ante here in the non-alcoholic world with Athletic Brewing. And this one that we're going to be trying today, the battle today is a stout. So if you don't know what a stout is, it's a thicker, darker beer. A lot of people associate Guinness with stouts, and I'm excited to try this out. Nowhere else in the internet would a kid from Kenmore and a good friend of his who resides in Philly come together to review beer. You got to love it. Hell yeah, Chris. Hell yeah. Nice to see you on the show. All right, Nate. So are you excited to try one of these stouts out right away?
Absolutely. Super pumped.
Super pumped it is. I kind of gave you a little foreshadowing, not a foreskin, a foreshadow about what we're going to be doing today. Today's first stout comes to us from the actual stout master of the world, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the non-alcoholic version of Guinness. Wow. Guinness
0.0.
0.0, the Guinness non-alcoholic stout. Nate, what the hell?
I know. What are you thinking? St. James Gate, Dublin, Ireland. The originators of the stout. Stout, obviously coming from Ireland. These are the OGs. So we wanted to try this one and compare it with a newcomer on the market.
Yeah, actually, I'm getting my can says 0.5% alcohol. So there's a smidge.
Yeah, it does. Mine too, 0.5%.
I mean, it's really non-alcoholic, right? Because that is, you probably get that when you
less than. By the way. Yeah.
What's it?
It's less than 0.5%. So
less than 5%. Yeah,
they have to put that in.
But I'm really excited because the world and the culture of non-alcoholic beer has grown so much. How do they make a stout now, and how does it compare? So, I say we just get right into it, Nate.
Let's do it.
What do we do?
Crack them, smell them, taste them.
Well, that's right. Let's go ahead and crack this sucker open. Oh, we got some flow.
Nice.
Mine's bubbling out. Okay, I got to get oh shit, I'm getting spillage over here. All right, guys. Definitely smell the molasses kind of flavor going on here. And let me go ahead and pour this sucker in as fast as I can. I'm going like a hard pour.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's looking good, actually. Looking like chocolatey, looking like a stout. Hey!
And the wind here is actually pretty crazy. 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. It's supposed to get down to like, I don't know, 65 degrees, which is pretty cool here for this time of the year. But yeah, the wind is howling.
In Vegas?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Big time.
Really? All right, let's take a look. Hey, it looks beautiful. It looks great.
It does.
Typically the non-alcoholic beers that we've drank, they produce a little bit of head. This one's got a strong head. It's got the three discolors, the three different colors going on in here. I'm not getting a big nose of this thing, but let's go ahead and try it, Nate. Cheers.
Cheers, Danny. Yeah, I'm not getting a lot in the nose either. It just smells like bread.
Wow. That is good. All right. That is good. But like all of them, I'm going to have to say I miss the alcohol. I like the stout, but I also like the stout when you can taste the alcohol. But in terms of how it tastes, it is super creamy. It's got a rich flow through it. It's smooth, velvety, whatever we want to use to describe it. It tastes like a stout. Nate?
It does. It's rather thin. It does remind me of a Guinness. A Guinness is a dry stout. It's going to probably, I think it's 5.5%. So it's not going to be rich. It's not going to be super thick. And that's where this falls. So, it's even a little bit thinner than that. It's a little less rich. It has a nice head on here. Like it's definitely retaining that. It's a nice looking beer. I like it, but I think I like the ones we drank last week better.
Really? Okay. Yeah, it is an interesting taste. Chris says, compare the taste to a normal Guinness. Let me see.
It's different. Slightly
different.
Pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Good morning, Miss Scarlett. Good morning. Hi. Welcome from all the way in the Philippines. You know what's different about it, Nate? Like I said, you really taste alcohol and like that boozy flavor with the stout. This thing has no backwash, no backbite to it. It just you get the first part of it that tastes like a Guinness, and then it's really watery going down.
It is. It's really, really thin on the back of the palate. There's not a lot of body. You're not getting that velvety richness that you would get out of a stout. But with that being said, it still has the heavy malt, and it still tastes like a stout. It's a good option if you wanted to try something a little bit different than the typical lager, pilsner, or IPA.
Yeah, it's in the glass. I gotta say, it looks legit. It looks beautiful, to be honest with you. Yeah, it just
color's nice.
Yeah, it really looks like a good beer, and good on Guinness for making a non-alcoholic beer. I mean, we were kind of wondering how a stout would match up against the other ones. Now, Nate said he likes the Athletic Brewing. I talked to somebody last week, and they told me from Athletic Brewing the best one is the Hazy IPA.
Yeah, I've heard the same actually.
Have you? Yeah, that was coming from What's Your Beer. Yeah, they were saying that the Hazy was the best. So I don't know. This one, like I said, if you're into the non-alcoholic beer for whatever reason, if you just want to try it, maybe you actually have to do it. Not a bad play on the stout. So liking it. Can't wait to finish it off and give it a score.
It is stout season, Danny.
It's stout season, baby. I like it. It's stout season. It's we're gonna get into some stout season in November, and then our favorite part of the year comes up. Nate, are you ready?
The holiday beers.
The holiday beers, and we're gonna have to do this one. If you guys remember, we never actually got to this one, but this is what we've been waiting for. This is the Merry Christmas, Happy New Year 2021 from Anchor Brewing. And, man, this might be – imagine doing Edward 40 hands with this one. This would knock you out, dude. You get knocked out. But we're going to do a comparison between the new one and the old one because coming off of Dave Z's recommendation from Beer in Front, I believe, Nate, he was the one saying that ales can age better like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably put it in the fridge. But yeah, I'm excited to try that. I wonder if we should find the one from this year and compare it to the one from last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
my man's got half his brain in the show. The other half is somewhere in Philadelphia right now. I get it. We got runners on the corners right now with one out. This could be a big one. Rizzo's up the plate and he checks in. He's looking him down. But anyway, guys, the stout's pretty good. What exactly is a stout, Nate? Do you know?
Of course. Why don't we talk about stouts? Look at that beautiful thing. Of course, it is the dark, beautiful, stormy-looking ale with that beautiful, thick foam head at the top. Kind of looks like a coffee from Starbucks, doesn't it, Danny, with that cream foam they put on the top of coffees now. Nice.
Yeah, look at the same cup, too.
That's the no-neck. Yeah, so what type of beer is a stout? It is an ale. It's fermented at the warmer temperature. On the right, you can see at the bottom, it talks about the characteristics of a stout. Strong roasted malt flavor with coffee and chocolate notes. You're not getting a ton of that in this one, Danny. I don't get a lot of coffee, maybe some coffee, almost there's zero chocolate for me. It's definitely way more malty than it is sweet. So what is a stout? Just like Danny's picture, it looks exactly like your beer. It is an ale, like we just said. Dark and bold are two words to describe this style of beer, and I would agree. It is very roasty, a ton of roasted notes in this. Roasted grain, that's where you're getting that color, the darkness of the grain that they're using in the barley. More roast character than a porter. That's really the differentiator between a porter and a stout. A wide range of substyles and room for interpretation. So the one that we're drinking right now is a dry Irish stout, ABV usually around, this one's non-alcoholic, but if it's an alcoholic version, somewhere around 5 to 6%. Then, of course, you can get into imperial stouts, which go up to 7 to 9 to 10. An old Rasputin is going to taste like old motor oil. And then you get into more of the dessert stouts, Neapolitans, peanut butter, milk stout, parfait stouts, that kind of thing. They might get up to the 14% range. And of course, then you have stuff like the Bourbon County stouts that we had last year, Danny, with Beer in Front, Dave Z. And those can get up to 15, 16%. We did a cola one last year that I thought was pretty exceptional. High carbonate waters like San Diego, ideally suited to making stouts, which is quite interesting. I would not think of San Diego as a place where you would prefer to make stouts.
Yeah, that's a weird comment. Hey, Wondrous Trudeau, welcome to the show. Cheers.
So here we talk a little bit about the history of stout. Stout has a long history. Its first documented mention comes in 1677. The term was used there to describe a particularly strong beer. By the 1700s, dark beers called porters were becoming very popular. Brewers experimented with porters of different strengths. The strongest of these, containing around 7 or 8% ABV, were known as stout porters. a new style of beer had been born. The term stout, however, didn't come into common use until much later. Even that most recognizable of stouts, Guinness, started its life being called a porter. Their export brand was West India Porter, sold now as Guinness Foreign Extra Stout and popular in the Caribbean, Asia, and Africa. The most commonly drunk, yep. I mean, I remember when I used to go to the Bahamas and Jamaica, that was the one of the more shocking things to me was how much people like Guinness. Red Stripe and Guinness were just massive everywhere.
Really?
The most commonly drunk Guinness in the USA today is known as Original or Extra Stout. But early in the 19th century, the same beer was called Extra Superior Porter. So a little bit of history. Danny, if you're drinking a stout, you're going to want
I like this stuff.
Different glasses. You can see right there the Imperial, Irish. You can use right there is basically a pint glass or a style of pint glass. So that's Danny's using something called the no-nick right now, which is in the middle on the top left. You can use that. I'm using kind of more of a custom specialty kind of glass.
You know what? Actually, Nate, if you go back to that real quick, hey guys, let's put this up there. Let us know in the comments right now what you like to drink out of. What's your favorite glass? My favorite glass out of all those that you have up there would be the Stange, the silver. It's under the Pilsners, the German black one. It's just a long cylinder. That's my favorite beer glass. If some people, I think it's also called a highball glass sometimes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's my favorite. What's your favorite, Nate?
I guess probably the no-nick I really like. I like a tulip in the Pilsner glass.
I like goblets too. I almost bought a goblet the other day.
Steins are cool. I also like a Stein.
Steins are cool.
So if we're talking about food, Danny, we're going to pair some food with the stout. You're going to want to go rich, chocolatey. Up there we got a pot roast. That's going to be an awesome thing to pair with the stout. And of course,
man, a pot roast.
Steak. Here it says down here, roasted and smoked foods, barbecue, grilled foods, salty foods, rich and braised dishes. So that's why I chose those two right there, chocolate cake and pot roast. And here is a couple of examples of different kinds of stouts. We did try the Yingling Hershey's Porter on the show. I believe we tried that cocoa one in the back in the light brown, the Dragon's Milk, I think we tried, and maybe that Rogue chocolate stout, Danny. Do you recognize anything else?
We never tried the cocoa, but it's in my fridge.
Oh, okay.
So we just haven't gotten to it. The Hershey's we did, and I think that's really it.
Yeah, you might be right. But anyway, guys, that's what a stout is today. 2 stouts, non-alcoholic.
Nice. Chris Duncan says a beef on weck from Anderson's goes a long way, or it goes well with Anderson's. Hell, a beef on weck anywhere goes well with anything. But yeah, thanks, Nate. That was great, man. That was very interesting stuff. You had talked about it that you didn't taste the roasted, the malted. I actually taste that quite a bit. If you're just hopping on the show, we are drinking the Guinness non-alcoholic. Okay, the NA. The non-alcoholic month continues. The sober October for Nate and I. What's this, week 3, Nate?
It is. Well, I mean, we started actually, I think, on the 3rd. Today's the 22nd. So we're close. We're almost up to 3 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's okay. I don't care. I like the show. I love the show. I love the beer, and I miss the beer buzz. But if I got to go sober, that's fine, too.
Reese Hoskins with a home run, 4-2.
Aaron Judge, double play, 5-0. Wow. 3-2 already?
4-2. San Diego, they put up a crooked number in the first.
Oh, a crooked number, dude. All right, let's move on, guys. This is what we're drinking. It is the Guinness non-alcoholic beer. I got to tell you something. We're still doing the great show today, but I've trimmed it a little bit today. There's actually going to be no show and tell, and there's going to be no good news because we're doing it right at the height of baseball playoffs. Both of our teams are in it. So we're trying to zip through this, get to the beer, give you the same great show. Those segments will be being back next Saturday. The show is next Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then after that, it's going to go to Sundays. So, Nate, what are you thinking of this beer? Would you rank it up there with what? Her favorite pretend beer show. Xi Jinping, 你好，要我要喝一点东西吗？ Xi Jinping. Nate, so what are you thinking? Would you recommend this one or one of the Athletics or the O'Doul's Budweiser Challenge?
I would never recommend the O'Doul's or the Bud Zero to anybody. But the Athletic brews, I would definitely put ahead of this one. But that's why I'm really curious about the next beer, because it's the brewery that we're doing the second beer is more in line with Athletic. They only focus on non-alcoholic beer, so that's the one I'm really curious to see if it holds up to the same standard that Athletic Brewing has presented to us.
Yeah, Guinness. We all know Guinness. It's worldwide. It's all over the place. Do you have a brewery tour that we can go? And is this non-alcoholic? There we go. My man, right on point. Is this one brewed in the same brewery as the beer?
That I don't know. It's brewed out of Open Gate, which is out of Maryland. But the origination of it started with the original Guinness out of Dublin, Ireland. There's their credentials. You can find them on Instagram and Twitter. Where are they located? I just talked about it up there on the left map. That is the global map. And there you can see Ireland on the northwest part of Europe, not very far from England, Scotland, Wales. It is part of Great Britain. On the right, you can see Ireland there, the country of Ireland, and the city of Dublin, which is a coastal city there just across the pond from Liverpool.
Have you ever been to Ireland, Nate?
I have not.
Man, it's one of the places. It's one of the places I really want to go to.
Yeah, it's pretty. I definitely want to go there too, especially with my middle name is Murphy. I have Irish heritage. After doing 23andMe, I think I am 93% Irish, Italian, German, and Scandinavian.
So you're 93. So what are the percentages of that broken down?
I forget the breakdown of all of those, but that's the majority of it.
Okay.
Anyway, there we go, guys. Today's beer, 0.0. That's what it was called. I don't know. I was doing research on it. It's not actually a 0.0% beer, as Danny called out before. Look at the Untapped ratings. This has been drank quite a bit. A lot of people have checked in on it. 3.13 versus a score out of 5. Compared to the Athletic, it's below. Like, I'm pretty sure the last week they were at 3.39, something like that. Compared to the next one, they're higher. So I'm curious to see if that holds up as we taste it and we agree with the public. There you go again, just a picture of the Untapped page. Guinness Draught 0.0. You can see it says 0.0, but then it actually has 0.5%, whatever. There we go. This is directly from their website. Guinness Zero boasts a beautifully smooth taste, perfectly balanced flavor, and unique dark color similar to Guinness Draught, brewed to be non-alcoholic. I'm not going to read all of that, but you can see the aromas giving you hints of roasted coffee and chocolate. I don't know. I think a little bit of chocolate. I mean, coffee, almost no chocolate for me. Appearance, dark ruby red with a creamy head. Ruby red seems like a weird color for me. It doesn't look like that.
Yeah, that's a stretch. I don't know if I guess if you put it in the light,
actually, yeah, you're right. If you look through the light, yeah, I
get
get
a refraction off the glass or whatever. But yes, it's definitely stretching the color. When you look at it, you think black beer.
Yeah, for sure. But when you do hold it up, I see what they mean. It's interesting, something different. And taste smoothly balanced with bitter, sweet, roasted notes. You know, they're hitting the head for the most of it. Besides the chocolate, just not getting it. The lease of life. At this stage, you're forgiven to think the story of Arthur Guinness was a myth, but he was very real, and every pint served around the world is one more pint of his undeniable legacy. Arthur Guinness was the first in a long line of Guinness master brewers, in the craft of brewing at St. James Gate Brewery was handed down from generation to generation. Arthur himself most likely developed his passion for brewing from his father, Richard, who was said to be in charge of brewing in the Selbridge estate of Dr. Arthur Price, later Archbishop of Cashel. Tells a little bit of the history of Guinness. You guys can go on their website and read a little bit more about that.
The harp,
also,
yeah.
Harp is a huge thing. Again, you guys can go to their website if you want to read about the harp, but that has been their logo since 1759. And there is the original brewery, Danny. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's still standing, but that's a pretty badass building.
Looks like my middle school, Hoover Middle. It really does. It looks just like it. But hey, that's pretty cool. I mean, they were able to pretty much get close to the original formula of the stout. If you're drinking non-alcoholic beers, might be something that you want to explore. So, hey, Nate, let's go ahead and whack it down and give it a score.
All right.
I notice he's not drinking all of it again. And I caught him that time. All right, let's go, guys. All right, taste. Look, I think it's pretty clear that this beer is non-alcoholic and is got that flavor to it, because you feel like when you drink a Guinness, it does have a boozy flavor, but I think it's pretty good. It tastes like a stout. I do taste the roasted chocolate malty flavor. It's pretty prevalent to me, but overall, it's okay. It's pretty good. Still a little watery. I'm going to go ahead and give it a score of a 3.0.
Yeah, I think a 3.0 is fair. I'm going to go a little bit higher, give it a 3.5, because I think for an introductory stout, which is what basically Guinness has turned into, because it's so world-renowned and it's just kind of the baseline, it's a good beer to try non-alcoholic options for stouts and see what the baseline is. From that, I'll give it a 3.5. They do kind of taste like a regular Guinness. It just doesn't have the boozy element and not quite all the richness, but it's close, 3.5.
Nice. All right, price. Nate, how much was this can of beer?
So I got a 4-pack, and the 4-pack was $11.99. So
$12 is $3 a can.
$4, yeah, $3 a can. Yep.
$3 a can. It's kind of a little high for a non-alcoholic beer, but if that's your thing and you want to try it, it's not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a score of a 2.5.
I'm going to do the same thing, 2.5. I think it's a fair price. I don't think it's ridiculous or anything. They're 16-ounce cans, so that says something about it. It's a unique beer style for it to be non-alcoholic. 2.5 for the price.
Awesome. All right, going with the design. I like the design. I like how they stuck to their guns. I like how they stuck to the original design. Now, it does have that little thing inside of it that keeps it the drought. I like how they put the 0 on there, but then I'm a little confused because it does say 0.5% alcohol. I don't know. It's pretty cool. It doesn't really wow me. I like how they used the original colors, but then they added the blue. Overall, 3.0. Where are you going to go with this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2.0. I don't like the style really at all. It reminds me of the style of a can made by a macro brewery, right? No personality. It's got the harp. I don't like. What's the blue all about? What is that? What does that have to do with non-alcoholic? Is it just the pop of color to get it to stand out? I don't like it's a shiny finish. I think they should have done something different. I do like that they put the caloric and nutritional value on the back of the can. So I guess they get a half a point for that. 2.0.
Nice. All right, we're going to go with popularity. And this beer, I feel like a lot of people know about Guinness. A lot of people don't know about it. Now that they're making non-alcoholic beer, I think that you're going to be able to find it anywhere. So I think they're actually going to get one of the higher scores on this one. And I'm going to give them a score of a 4.0 with that.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4.5. It's hard to argue against their brand and the global awareness of it. Now, this is a non-alcoholic option. It's probably not as accessible or as popular as their mainstay or their flagship regular beer. So I will ding them half a point, 4.5.
Nice.
What's up, Dave?
Rapid Dave, welcome to the show. Cheers. Pretty soon we'll be back, guys. Don't worry. I know we might not be as fun as we usually are, but we're going to be whacking back a couple alcoholic beers before no time. We're doing the non-alcoholic. And this is the TMD X Factor. I like that the stouts have come to the party and they offer a non-alcoholic beer. So it really opens up the range of beers. If you used to be able to say, oh, what are you drinking? Just that one beer, that O'Doul's. No, now there's plenty of different ones. I think that's kind of cool. Unfortunately, there's no alcohol, so I can't give them all the way score. I'll give them a score of a 3.5 for the TMD X Factor.
Yeah, for my X Factor, I'm going to be very, very close, 3.0. I like that they tried something different. I like that they're kind of at the forefront of this, and now you're going to see more craft breweries following suit. So for that, I like it. It's the original stout. We get to see what the non-alcoholic option is. So, yeah, 3.0 for me.
Nice. All right, well, the score is in. The scorecard, I had to alter a little bit because I ran out of paper. So we're just going with what I got. Score for today for non-alcoholic Guinness is a 16 from Travelman Dan. All right, not so far off, Nate, at a 15.5. Look, if you're in the market and you want to try something, it's $3. Probably ain't going to break the bank. If you just want to give it a shot, try it out. It also is worth mentioning that, like, you could play a little trickery on people where you're giving them non-alcoholic beer and then they think they're drunk. Or, the other flip side of that is the peer pressure thing. People always want people to drink more and drink harder and drink, you know what I mean? Well, if you have one of these beers like this and you pour it into a cup and a non-alcoholic, version of it, nobody's ever going to know the difference. And you can sit there and hang out at the party and just, let those jock bros, whatever you want to call them, hey, just settle down a little bit because they'll think you're drinking, but you're not getting smashed. So that is another cool thing I think that's neat about non-alcoholic beers is it levels the playing field for peer pressure. All right. Welcome back to the show.
Danny, 31.5 total score for the
31.5 for the Guinness, for the Battle of the Guinness. Hold on, my mom's calling me right now. Call you back. Give me a second. I got to call my mom and just text her. So guys, Rapid Dave says 0.0 tasted watered down for me. Okay, so he's tried this beer, but yeah, not a bad choice for a non-alcoholic. Pretty cool to hear from Dave, who's also tried this. Rapid Dave is another beer tuber. We got to get him on the show. So glad to hear your point of view. Now it's time for another non-alcoholic stout. And Nate, I'm going to go ahead and get in the fridge because I don't have it in the ice box.
All right, Travel Man Dan, let us know when you're ready. This one, guys, it is a little bit different. We wanted to start off with the Guinness, kind of the more recognizable brand and more of the baseline to see what the difference is when we kind of go to the more crafty-ish option here. And Danny will be presenting that just in a second.
Yeah, so, Guinness, you're going to be able to find it pretty much anywhere. And we like that. And I think that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool that they, they found the trend and they were able to, obviously join in on that. But one of the companies that we did last week was Athletic Brewing. That was a lot of fun. And they were a specific non-alcoholic brewery.
Yep. Okay,
craft brewery if you wanted to, or microbrewery. But this next one that we're going to do is also along the lines of a non-alcoholic craft brewery only. And ladies and gentlemen, today's second beer is called Gruvi Stout. Okay, Gruvi Stout. Pretty cool. I like the can right off the bat. Nate, I don't see any zero alcohol, so no 0.5%.
0%. On the back it says contains less than 0.5%. Okay.
All right. So it must be something with the fermentation, or we need a doctor or a scientist in here to explain all that. One thing that you may or may not like about these non-alcoholic beers are they're very low in calories, very low. So if you want to drink a bunch of drinks and you don't want that bloated feeling and the weight to come on, it's 45 calories for this Gruvi Stout.
This was 60, but it's also 4 ounces more.
Okay. All right, Nate. Well, let's go ahead and crack this sucker open, give it a smell, and give it a taste.
All right.
Oh, yeah. A lot more rich.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely.
Chocolate.
Yeah, definitely chocolate there. Now I'm getting chocolate, particularly in the nose here. It's definitely strong. Coffee.
Right, let's go. Coffee. Oh, yeah. And this sucker's thick coming out. Black. Oh.
The head is not as rich. It's not going to hold like the Guinness did. At least it doesn't look like it. It's already kind of going away.
Yeah, and that might be that because the Guinness had a little help from that little drought,
the ball
thingy, whatever in there. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but yeah, you can see it's starting to break down pretty quick, much like a lager or a pilsner. And well, there's only one way to get to it, Nate. And let's go ahead and try this one out. So, cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Damn, man. Not what I thought. That's good. Really?
It got carbonation to it.
Yeah, man.
All right. It's got carbonation to it. It's got a bit of a sourness to it. Definitely a lot more flavorful in terms of you taste the chocolate. It definitely has your stout taste to it. It's not as sweet. Nate, what do you think?
Man,
Not liking it.
No, not really. I wanted to like it. I was thinking that this would, kind of have more of that quality feel to it. It's thinner than the Guinness. It tastes like stout flavored seltzer to me.
That's a good point. Yeah, because it does have a little bubble to it.
It's like a hard seltzer. That's what it tastes like. I wondered, is this a malt beverage? It doesn't say it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a cool story on it. I'm gonna have to put on my readers. It says the drink you deserve, and we believe that you deserve an exceptional drink, a true beer, but without the regrets, a flavorful, thirst-quenching beverage that completes your experience. We believe that you deserve a drink made for one person, and that person is you. Enjoy this groovy. We made it for you. All right, a little snappy snaps. All right. I don't know.
All right.
I like it, but I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, it tasted like a stout flavored seltzer.
It's like these things are just, when you think of a stout, you think of it being rich. You think of it being a little bit overpowering. Now, of course, from a dry Irish stout, that's really not the case. It's not quite as thick, right? So maybe that's what their intentions are. This is not supposed to be a dessert stout. It's not an imperial. It's supposed to be like your basic dry stout. So if that's the case, then they're much closer to that than something more rich.
Yeah, it's funny, Nate, because like one of the things that I'm doing is I'm drinking this thing like super slow, right? And if you drink it super slow and like let it go in your mouth a little bit, it just really tastes like seltzer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm shocked by it. I was thinking something different. So
yeah, and I don't know if you're getting this. Like sometimes when you let stouts sit for a while, they get better. As they get warmer. I feel like this thing is set for maybe 3 minutes. It's open, and the flavor is already gone. So
yeah,
I think the Guinness has got this guy. But anyway,
we'll see what the score says.
We'll see what his score says. I'm not really sure, but can we go on a brewery tour? Tell us more about Gruvi.
You got it, Travel Man Dan. So there we go, guys. Gruvi.
Groovy.
The website name is called Get Groovy. If you want to check out their Instagram and their Twitter, they've got good accounts there. Some pretty cool stuff to check out. Where are they located? They are U.S. based out of Denver, Colorado, a hotbed for craft beer. And there you can see it is in the mountain region of the United States there in the Rockies, and Denver is kind of smack dab, almost in the middle of the state. Today's beer is the stout option. Groovy does have other ones. We'll talk about that in a bit. 0% non-alcoholic stout. Obviously, the check-ins are much, much lower than Guinness. Guinness is a world-recognizable brand, but here we got 684. But the score, Danny, is quite telling. 2.87 is very much lower than the Athletic and lower than the Guinness, significantly. Now, typically, when you get something new on the market like this, there's an excitement around something like this, and the scores might start higher and tend to kind of drift as you get more check-ins. So this score likely over time will become even lower than that. So I think it's fair. I think it's a fair score for this beer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if it's a low score.
It is a low score.
Yeah. 2.87 is a low one on Untapped, which is pretty much the standard for judging beers through universal standard. Like we use our own judging system here on the show because we like to add a little bit more, but all that's kind of wrapped up into how you vote on it for Untapped. And 2.87 is low out of a possible 5, which is weird. It's a little bit over 500. It's not that bad, right?
Right. We'll see. They have other options. They got an IPA, and I think they have a wheat beer. But there you go. It's just another picture. They're Untapped. There's the score, 0.4%. It's funny how these things are all over the place with that. What is Groovy all about? So again, much like Athletic Brewing, outdoor centric, being active, wellness, healthy lifestyle. That's what they're promoting.
Colorado,
right? We are trailblazing a new way to live and socialize with alcohol-free beverages to make every moment more groovy. Here at Groovy, we strive to create an inclusive community focused on making beer choices within our daily lives. We truly believe in a world where we don't always feel inclined to drink in a social setting, and a world where everyone can feel comfortable regardless of what's in their cup. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I like drinking. But I'm not opposed to it. I can understand why people like it. For me personally, I like alcohol. I like the way it makes me feel. I definitely got to be careful, like everybody else, is not to abuse it. But I don't know if I could just go and hang out and just drink non-alcoholic beer all the time. But I guess if I was doing yoga like that woman in the picture, and I like drinking, right? I mean, if you're mountain climbing and shit like that, I could see it's a good alternative. But one of the things I really like is when I'm outdoors, and I'm doing something physical, or I'm out, in nature, and I'm hiking, or I come back from a hike or whatever. I like having a real beer. I like having a couple of real beers by the fire. I don't know if I can necessarily get on board with doing a long, hard workout or whatever, hiking, whatever, Nate, and sitting around a fire drinking non-alcoholic beers. That's just me personally. If you can do it, great. I like real beer and a couple of shots in there.
All right. So craft non-alcoholic beer. There's a couple of options that they have. Look, they got a juicy IPA there on the left. I'd like to try that.
I like their design.
Yeah, I like it too. Mocha Nitro Stout and a Gruvi IPA. Alcohol-free beers never tasted this good. That's debatable. Shop our collection of low non-calorie, non-alcoholic craft beer today for a hangover-free tomorrow. Great thing about them, just like Athletic Brewing, is that you can order from their website, delivery, because there's no alcohol. So I thought this was interesting. Tell me more about non-alcoholic beer, some questions and then responses from the company itself. Who is non-alcoholic beer for? Everyone. Non-alcoholic beer contains 0.5% ABV, which is similar to the alcohol content of a regular kombucha and safe for anyone. You can safely drink non-alcoholic beer while pregnant or taking most medications. We also recommend checking with your doctor if you have specific concerns, but otherwise drink up. So I thought this was interesting, right? Like Danny just kind of talked about it. One of the things I think non-alcoholic beer offers people that like beer is on a Wednesday night, and you just want to have that quench of beer. Those athletic beers, I think they hit the nail on the head. These kind of beers might do the trick for you if you want something just to quench your thirst that's beer related and you don't want a buzz.
It's funny. We've talked about the various reasons, but there's two new ones, Nate, that I didn't even really think of, and you could chalk that up. Like, what if you're on some type of long-term viral medication, or what if you're on some type of medication and you want the taste of beer? Boom. And then how about if you're pregnant? Okay, if you're pregnant, I mean, they really didn't notice. I'm sure they knew about it, but remember when smoking and drinking was normal in the 80s, and then towards the end of the 80s, it kind of died out because of problems and stuff like that. But there's two other great reasons why you might want non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's got a reason to try something, right?
Yeah, definitely. But this does not taste like beer. It's very bubbly to me. It's almost like a dark chocolate champagne, if you will.
Kind of, yeah. Coffee.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, hey guys, I took out good news and I took out show and tell, but I did not take out what would you rather. It's time for it. You can go ahead and let me know in the comments before, or you can let me know after the show. I'll always answer back, but here we go. What would you rather? The first one is I'm going to give you a ticket where you want to go. You can go to one of these two places. You can go to this place, which is in Texas. Okay, right there. It's called Big Bend National Park, and it is the darkest place in North America, where you can go and see the most beautiful array of stars. Okay, you're outdoors. It's kind of going in connection with Groovy's statement. You're gonna go there and be outside and look at the stars, or you want to go down into a coal mine. Okay, I talk about Pennsylvania for you, right? Look at that. I'm not sure if you want to go down there. I'm going to Big Ben, says Rapid Dave. I absolutely love the stars. Anytime I can get a chance to go and look at them, I will. The unfortunate part is I live in Los Angeles, so the only stars you see are people in movies and television, and that's debatable on a lot of terms. So anytime I can get outside and see the stars, plus I'm extremely claustrophobic going down into cave. I go into a salt cave one time. I almost lost my mind. I'm going to go to Big Ben where the sky is high and you can just check out all them stars. Nate, what about you?
I'm doing Big Bend as well. I want to see those stars. Coal mining's cool, though, man. I grew up in anthracite country there in Pennsylvania, but absolutely Big Bend.
Yeah, there's a cool documentary about this guy from Chile, and he was able to in 20 is it 24 hours or it's something like that. He was able to run a marathon at the highest place in the world and at the lowest place in the world, so Earth. And the lowest place on Earth was this copper mine in South Africa where they put him down there, and he did a marathon down there. He would just run through the tunnels. And then he got on an airplane and flew to somewhere in Chile. It was his home country, but check it out. I'll bring it up and have it. I'll show you the documentary. But moving on. What would you rather, guys? Oh, this one's tough. Go ahead and give it to me, Nate. What would you rather eat? Dark chocolate. You know the type of dark chocolate with the real shit, like where you're eating it and it curdles and it feels like you're eating cottage cheese. That's what I'm talking about. Or a cup of black coffee. All right. And here's the thing. This is not forever. This is just, let's say, for a little bit, for a month. All right. Would you rather prefer to eat chocolate or coffee? This one's tough. Chocolate is my favorite. So is coffee. Where do I go? I'm going to have to go with coffee. Definitely coffee for this one. It's a tough one. It's literally a 9.9 to a 10. Nate, what about you?
It's a really hard one for me, too. I do like the fact that we're going to these stout flavor profiles and kind of hitting on these dark elements. That's pretty cool. Good job. For me, I'm going to say chocolate. I just like chocolate more. The one great thing about coffee is the added benefit of caffeine. Chocolate also has caffeine, just less so, but I love snacking chocolate, dark chocolate. So for me, it's dark chocolate.
Yeah. And Rapid Dave says he only drinks black coffee. All right, the next one. Who are you going to go for? Who are you going to root for? The Black and Silver Raiders, okay? The Las Vegas Raiders or the All Blacks, the New Zealand rugby team that does the hula hula before their warm up. I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty intense. It's pretty cool to watch. I don't know. I don't really like the Raiders at all. So I'm going to go with the All Blacks, even though I know nothing about rugby. I once saw the Springboks play in South Africa, but I'm going with the All Blacks because they do the hula hula and I like that.
Yeah, I'm absolutely doing the All Blacks. It's cool. I love that chant, that dance. I don't know what it's called, so I'm not even going to pretend that I do. But I absolutely go with them. I'm not choosing any other team in the NFL besides the Eagles, so All Blacks.
Yeah. Ooga pa pa bo pa. Ooya yeah ah ah ah. It's pretty cool, man. If you never see it, type in All Blacks pre-dance. All right, next one. What would you rather, guys? This one. Oh, baby. Look at Travel Man Dan. He's living where? That's right. Would you rather live in that awesome-looking cabin right there in the middle of the forest made of rock and wood? Or
haunted cabin. Haunted.
Oh, I forgot. It's got hauntings in it, okay? That changes everything. So there is a haunted cabin, okay, you can stay in the middle of the forest, which is extremely scary. Or is this haunted too?
It's a ghost town.
It's a ghost town, but the thing is there ghosts there. They typically call ghost town because everyone left, not because there was ghosts.
So what would you rather, spend one night by yourself in the ghost town or in the haunted cabin?
The ghost town for me.
Really?
Yeah, definitely the ghost town because the ghost town refers to being ghosting as like nobody's around. You're straight up saying that other place is haunted. I love the forest and cabins. and it's probably got to be the most frightening place. Even when I'm stone sober, my mind will play tricks on me, and I do not want to know it's haunted. Not if Dave knows what's up.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want anything to do with haunted anything. I've had enough run-ins in my life that I want to stay clear away from that. Give me this ghost town because nobody's there. I'd rather that as well.
Interesting, guys. If you're just hopping out, we're about to finish up What Would You Rather. This is what we're drinking. It is called Groovy Stout, non-alcoholic. Pretty interesting. So on the taste. All right, the last one. Which would you rather I give you? We got a stout, okay? And do you want, like, on the left of this picture, you see it's a dessert stout. It's got the chocolate coming out of it. Maybe you have a cannoli in there, a donut, a chocolate cake. You get the picture, right? Or would you have that Irish classic stout, that, beautiful one on the right that we've actually reviewed? It's probably up there somewhere. But you have your classic taste. I don't know. I do like some of those like milkshakey, marshmallow, peanut butter cup ones, but I also like a regular stout. I'm always up to try something. Give me the funky one on the left. I want to try some kind of crazy invention.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I prefer imperial stouts. I like more boozier stouts than I do the lighter variety. I just like the richness. I like to kind of sip on one for an hour. So I prefer them to be super strong. So I'm going to go the imperial dessert stout on the left.
Yeah, and that's going to do it, guys, for What Would You Rather. It's really funny, like, when people get it's like they're insulting beer by liking something that's, like, all made up like that. Like, I don't touch that shit. Why? Because you don't like graham crackers and Oreos all of a sudden? I watched you eat a pack of them myself. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing any devilish deed against regular beer. If you just don't buy Raul, I'd run if I saw a ghost. You're not doing anything bad if you like those, if you want to try them. It doesn't have to be your thing, but I'm always amazed at how people are frantically hiding from those things. But anyway, that's What Would You Rather, guys. This is what we're drinking. It is from Groovy, and it is the Groovy Stout. We're going to whack this down, and, we're going to go ahead and score it, and we'll get Nate back to his game. Nate does not like the non-alcoholics. I've noticed he's not even drank a quarter of them.
I got it down.
All right, Groovy. Look, I love your concept. I love what you do, but your taste, I ain't having it, man. I don't think it's good at all. As a matter of fact, the bubbles are too carbonated. This stout doesn't really actually taste like a stout. It tastes like a seltzer with some other weird thing going on in it. I'm giving it a 1.5. Don't like it at all.
Damn, I'm going 2.0. Same reason, 2.0.
All right, we're going with the price. How much was this one, Nate?
$9.99 for a 4-pack.
$9.99 for a 4-pack, so about $2.50. Yeah,
16.
If you want to try it, yeah, why not? Give it a shot. I don't think it's a bad price. I don't think it's a great price. I'm going right down the middle with 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3.0. I think it's a fair price. It's worth a shot.
All right, the design. I like the design. It's very beer snobs are weird. Yes, they are. I agree, Dave. Yeah, I like this kind of pricey. Yeah, a little bit. I kind of like this. I like the Sherlock Holmes look, kind of dark and gold. I like their labeling to give you a little story about who they are. I kind of like that about them. I'm giving them a 3.5 for the design.
Yeah, it's an okay design. It seems like it was done very quickly to me. Not a lot of thought. Got flowers. I don't know what the hell that is. But they do tell you the story. They put the nutritional facts on here. That's a good thing. I'll go 2.5 on the style.
Okay. All right, going with the next one. Look, popularity, accessibility, whatever the heck you want to call it. This beer is not really known about, and I don't know if they have wide distribution. So we're going to give them a thing. I'm going to give them a 1.0 because a lot of people just don't know about it unless you're in the non-alcoholic beer scene or you have a weekly beer show.
I'm going to give them a 2.0 because nobody knows who they are yet, but they do. Their accessibility is quite high because you can order it from anywhere. You go on their website, you have it delivered to your house, but nobody knows who they are. 2.0.
Barrow, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Hope to see you next week at once again 5 o'clock on Saturday. All right, the TMD accessibility, like I've said before, I think this we've got a place to it. Didn't like the taste, but I like that they're a brewery that only puts out non-alcoholic brews, so that's pretty cool. I think that it'll get bigger. I think people will catch on to it. I can't get behind them all the way. 3.0.
Yeah, for me,
I like that.
5, right? Like it's okay. It's an interesting enough beer. It was worth the try. The price was fair. Again, I like the non-alcoholic angle. 2.5 for me. It's nothing impressive.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and add up the score. 3, 4. Pretty low score for me, guys. Like I said, I think the taste and the popularity of this one, but I gave the Gruvi Stouts a score of an 11.5. What'd you get? Oh, Nate. So you gave it a 12. I'm trying to get focused in there. Yeah, we go. There we go. 11.5. Like I said, didn't really care for the taste of this thing. It was okay. But what was the total score, Nate? Oh, so the battle of the non-alcoholic stouts. Guinness takes the cake. Guinness, congratulations. Guinness is the winner. Yeah, that one did not do good, considering when we do alcoholic stouts, sometimes they get up to 23.5, man. What's that, Nick?
Congrats, Dennis.
Yeah, congrats, Guinness. All right, time to roll the die. What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? All right. 1, what are you reading? And I'm about to start a new play. It is by John Guar. It is called 6 Degrees of Separation. It is a pretty good play that I haven't read in a very long time. I don't know if you've ever read it before. It's good stuff. Always like to read a play or a script. Try to read one every week. So I'll be reading this one this week, 6 Degrees of Separation. Nate, what about you?
I'm not rolling the dice. I'm only watching these guys. That's it. That's all I'm focused on. Philly baseball. Go Phillies. Going to the World Series.
Yeah, you are focused on it. And we'll get you out of here in a second, guys. I want to bring up today's quote of the show. This one comes to my friend who's a longtime viewer of the show. He's a big, huge supporter, and today's his birthday. So shouts out to you, Rocco Cordola, for everything, man. I appreciate it. But this is what he's told me, and I love this quote. It says, "Live your dash." Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Rocco, and live your dash, guys. And what he means by that was, we're so caught up all the time in the past or the future about this, that, and the other thing. But at the end of the day, when you're buried and they put the time that you were born to the time you were died, that little dash in there is how you lived your life. And that's an important aspect to think about as you go through, because sometimes you're just so caught up just doing the life that you don't really think about it. So I encourage you guys, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, just start living your life. If there's something that you want to do, something you want to see, something you want to be, go after it. Go and do it, because that little dash is going to go ahead and be a reminder to all the people of your legacy and what you actually did and lived. So, guys, happy birthday, Rocco. I love you, man. Live your dash, the quote of the week. Thank you so much for hopping on the show this week, guys. We're going to go back to our longer standard show when we're drinking alcohol soon. Nate is pumped up. I can see him waving around the old Broad Street Bullies. Nate, do you have anything to say before we get out of here?
Happy birthday, Rocco. See you all next week.
He's pumped. Let's get him going. Guys, thank you so much. That's Nate. I'm Travel Man Dan. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. And remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.